Most people think that 1% are better at budgeting. They're not. They don't track coffee purchases, they don't argue with spreadsheets, they don't win because they're disciplined. They win because they're playing a different game. And if you try to copy their tactics without understanding the rules they're using, you'll stay stuck doing everything right and still fall behind. This matters right now because we're living through one of the most confusing money environments in decades. Prices feel unstable, wages feel slow, assets feel untouchable, and a lot of people are quietly asking the same question. How am I working harder, saving more, and still losing ground? The uncomfortable answer is that money doesn't reward effort equally. It rewards position. To understand how the 1% manage money, we have to start by unlearning the advice most people are given, because the standard advice assumes one thing, that money is scarce, fragile, and easy to lose. The 1% don't see money that way. They see money as infrastructure. For most people, money is something you hold. For the 1%, money is something you route. Think about how most households manage money. Income comes in, expenses go out. Whatever is left gets saved, if anything is left. The goal is stability. Avoid mistakes. Don't mess up. Now contrast that with how the 1% think. They start from a different question. Not how do I protect this money, but how do I position this money so time does the work? This is the first big difference. They manage money for trajectory, not balance. A middle-class household focuses on net worth snapshots. A wealthy household focuses on flows. What comes in, what compounds, what is tax efficient, what can be borrowed against. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. The 1% are not obsessed with being debt-free. In fact, many of them actively avoid it, because they understand something most people are never taught. Debt is only dangerous when it's tied to consumption. When it's tied to assets, it becomes leverage. If you're borrowing to survive, debt entraps you. If you're borrowing to control assets, debt amplifies you. This is why wealthy households often carry large amounts of debt and still sleep well at night. Their debt is slow, their assets are fast. Now let's talk about cash, because this is where most advice quietly breaks down. Most people are told cash is safety, emergency funds, rainy days, peace of mind. The 1% keep cash too, but not as a destination. To them, cash is a temporary holding tank. Cash is idle, it doesn't grow, and over long periods it loses purchasing power. So instead of asking, how much cash should I hold, they ask, how quickly can this cash be redeployed? This leads to a subtle but powerful habit. They don't hoard liquidity, they design access. Lines of credit, asset-backed loans, structures that allow them to pull cash without selling. Selling triggers taxes, borrowing doesn't. That single distinction changes everything, because once your money is structured this way, the goal is no longer to earn more and save harder. The goal becomes to own assets that throw off optionality. And this is where the hype starts to fall apart. Popular finance culture tells people the 1% are stock-picking geniuses. They're not. Most of their returns come from boring things: ownership, duration, scale. They hold assets longer, they access better terms, they benefit from rules written around ownership, not labor. Take taxes. Most people pay taxes first, then try to live on what's left. The 1% structure income, so taxes are often the last step, not the first. Income routed through businesses, capital gains instead of wages, deductions tied to investment activity. This isn't cheating, it's design. And here's the uncomfortable math most people never see. If your income is taxed at 30% before you even touch it, you must earn nearly 50% more just to invest the same amount as someone whose income is taxed later or lower. That gap compounds every year, not because one person is smarter, but because one person is positioned differently. The same pattern shows up with risk. The 1% don't avoid risk, they externalize it. They diversify across assets, structures, jurisdictions, and time. When things go wrong, losses are capped. When things go right, upside is uncapped. For everyone else, it's reversed. Upside is limited by wages, downside is personal. This is why financial shocks feel asymmetric, why crashes hurt some people more than others, why recoveries don't feel shared. So what does managing money like the 1% actually mean in practical terms? It doesn't mean copying their lifestyle. It doesn't mean chasing speculative bets. It means shifting your mindset from saving money to positioning money, from asking, how do I avoid mistakes, to asking, how do I make time and structure work in my favor? It means understanding that being conservative with spending is not the same as being strategic with capital. And it means recognizing a hard truth: the system rewards ownership far more than effort. That doesn't mean effort is useless. It means effort without leverage has a ceiling. The final irony is this: most people are told the 1% are reckless, over-leveraged, playing dangerous games. But from their point of view, the riskiest position is relying entirely on earned income in a system that quietly devalues it over time. Which raises a question most people never stop to ask. If money follows structure more than behavior, what game are you actually playing right now? And is it the one you think it is?